right. Hi everyone. It's the Christ. Sometimes I get super emotional, I hyper emotional, or I get caught up in the spirit. And at sometimes it may even seem incoherent. Um, in those times it's as if I'm in the spirit or have the God consciousness with me. So being the Christ, it's not like God's consciousness is with me 24/7. Because God's consciousness is too heavy. It'd be like going to the gym and just never leaving the gym, just working out all the time. God's thoughts are super heavy, and so you got to take them in kind of like bits and pieces. Um, Not that you take them in bits and pieces, but you go into the consciousness. Excuse me. You go into the consciousness and become aware of your connection with God and God's ideas and thoughts on what your understanding is. You get God's understanding on top of your own understanding. So he's like, okay, I think this is what happened, you know. But then as the Christ, I can say, boom, boom, boom. Hey, what happened? What actually is happening? And God kind of shows me God's ideas and understandings on what happened. So I have learned how to communicate with God using this method of understanding. But it's not something I can stay in there all the time. I can't stay in the God consciousness. I guess hopefully I'm training to stay in the God consciousness. So I'm growing too. As the Christ, I'm not finished growing. Just so you know, we're not done. None of us are done. And you're God too. And you'll become the Christ like me. And then you'll have new challenges to face as the Christ until you become God. And God has its own challenges to face. And one of them is raising us up. This is one of God's challenges, is building the kingdom of heaven with this sticky material called humanity. We're working with the worst building materials in the universe to build something beautiful, and we have the potential to do it. And I'm here to help us build it. I am the Christ. So I'm able to, when I'm in these states, talk to God. But it's so heavy. Sometimes I run around. I get excited. So this video I'm practicing on being in the spirit and staying focused and still speaking regular and coherently because I have a hard time with it. So this is my practice video for trying to maintain my composure and be in the spirit at the same time. It's just the best way I can explain it is when I'm in the spirit. But when I'm in the spirit, it's hard to communicate. So just working it out for myself and for everyone who's learning and growing as we become the Christ, or as we become like our Father, like as we become better, as we become more refined, um, as we become a better or refined or more conscious, refined consciousness is what we're looking to become, a more refined consciousness. Our consciousness, in some ways, is a little savage. We have a savage consciousness. We're like the ones that couldn't come to the kingdom of heaven because we have such barbaric ways about us. We can't go there. They're civilized. They don't murder someone. They take responsibility. In the kingdom of heaven, people take responsibility for their actions. They don't give them to nobody. They don't give them to Jesus Christ. They don't do that. They have faith in themselves and not a mystery God out in space. They don't. We are a great people and we have great potential, but we're cooking ourselves in a lot of these bad ideas, and we'd like to be more refined and more consolidated or concise with the overall universal spirit. And as I'm able to go in there and find out what the universal spirit actually wants, then from there, I can disseminate that. I give you that information. This is what we really should be doing here. And that's my job as the Christ. Watch me, and I'm going to try to help you. There's better systems than the systems we have in place. And I have some great answers to help us build it. But like I said, God's job is hard because God knows us, and God knows nobody's going to listen. Well, some people listen, absolutely. But God knows that people are people. And even if God came, people still would be people. So we're doing our best. Hopefully you guys get this message and understand I am who I claim to be. And then we can get us back to a cleaner, more refined consciousness without all of this madness. With Donald Trump acting up, that's a symptom. Pandemics, wars, So we want to try to avoid that if at all possible. Um, but it's going to be up to us. We're driving life. We're going to drive this bus. And I'm telling you, I'm the driver for the good guys. I'm the driver for the good guys. All you have to do is subscribe. I'm on Facebook as Nathan D. Elders. Like and subscribe my videos. And that's it. That's your obligation, is to like and subscribe to goodness. I'm driving the good guys. You know what? And if you like Donald Trump, I'm not necessarily, I think he's the Antichrist personally, and I am the Christ. He's the Antichrist, but it's all good. If you love him, then there are some parts to everyone that's lovable, and God loves everyone for those parts. But there's just overwhelming reason why I feel he's the Antichrist. And you leave a comment, leave a note. And I think that's about the most of it. It's the Christ again. I love you. God loves you. Come on home. Come on home. It's getting late, y'all. Come on home. It's the Christ.